there, YouTube. I'm back again for something a little bit different. I'm going to go in a time capsule. We're going to go together, and we're going to go back to Essen 2009, and we're going to take a look at the 10 most popular games that were released at Essen 2009 with history at our wings. So, starting off, number 10, and by the way, I want to give a big shout out to Herbert Harangel, who I used his list from Essen 2009. This has a bunch of people adding a whole bunch of different games, and I did cross-check it with some other lists as well, but huge shout out to Herbert. But the first, number 10 game we have is Carson City, which was released in 2009 by Xavier Jores. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it still stands as the number 524 game of all time. And I do believe this got a reprint a couple years back. And yeah, so this one, that's a strong one there. So let's see. What are so I also kind of want to look deeper into their, like, the designers and stuff and see if this was like their first game, their last game. So let's see. We're looking by the year. When was the year released? It was the year released. So for this designer, Xavier, and he's still going strong with Carnegie, which I know had a huge Kickstarter, Trois Dice, which I know there was some buzz about. So this was, wow. And then he went on the following year to release Trois, and then Tournay 1189, just Ginkopolis 365. So these are very highly ranked board games in the echelon. Carson City, the card game, the spinoff, still in the top 3,000. So Xavier just churning out amazing games. In this year, Essen 2009, he released the top 10 game, the number 10 game. Moving on to number 9, we have Igizia. So this was re-implemented by Igizia Shifting Sands, which is a 2019 release and has a watch it played video. Boy, howdy, I'm more excited about it right now. So it's still going strong, relatively speaking. People said this was so good, we got to bring it back. We got to run it back. Way too many designers to look in this, but we got Akatoka. With a name like that, I'm going to assume they have a lot of games designed. That is a really cool design name. 1129, 2819, 461, 1626, 1449. These are Leonardo da Vinci. That's one of my games I've never played that I have. I own it. Terra Mora. It was one of those games when I first got the hobby. I was like, I need this game. It's in the top 200. It was dirt cheap. And I was like, I'm going to get it. And then I never played it. And I should play it because I bet it's fantastic. So, very prolific game designer. Coming in strong. Number 9 with Igizia. And it's currently ranked the number 477. So, man, Essen 2009 is strong. Pretty much 9 games still in the top 500 on Board Game Geek. That's really impressive. 13 years later at the time of speaking. Wowzers. Some long-lasting games in 2009. Moving on, and every time I want to see Herbert's lovely face and say, thank you, Herbert. Next we have Macau, number 8, 2009, re-implemented by Amsterdam, which in 2022, so yeah, people still saying Macau's so fantastic. We put a new coat of paint on this bad boy and we got ourselves, because what is this, sailing in Mediterranean? Deliver goods, build a city in your tableau, using a unique dice selection method. Ooh, that sounds fun. Awesome. How to play video, good stuff here, and still sitting in the top, number 376. And this is, we're at 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That is impressive. No, I think, yeah, we're at 8. So this year was really a smasher at Essen. Moving on to number 7, we have Endeavor, which I know was just remade a couple years back by, what was it? Yeah, Burnt Island, Grand Gamers Guild. And I really enjoyed Endeavor. I thought it was really rock solid. I did not realize it was a remake of another game. Endeavor, spread your glory. I love that box, by the way. Z-Man Games crushed it with that box. Why have I never seen this box? This looks delightful. All right, but as always, let's see. So this one has 2 designers. Let's just look at let's see. So Endeavor and Endeavor. Anything else? Just Endeavor. Just worked on Endeavor. That's the only game I've worked on. So I imagine Jarrett's the one who's worked on other stuff. Yeah, so they did Endeavor and The Hobbit in Unexpected Party. Okay. Cool. So pretty much that was their first game design, and they just crushed it. Still sitting as the number 336 game of all time. Impressive. All right, moving on. Number 6, At the Gates of Loyang. Once again, this is one I really would love to play by Uwe Rosenberg. Redone by Tasty Minstrel Games. I don't believe they did the first one, did they? I don't think they did the one in 2009, but I could be wrong. No, I don't think they did. But this one, Uwe Rosenberg, I mean, we don't really, I mean, we can click here, but if you're newer to the hobby, he's just a master craftsman. Like, look at this. He has 6 games in the top 100. 6! That's ridiculous. That's absolutely redonkulous. Does he have more because they just ran out of room? He does with Patchwork. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the top 100 games of all time. And these lists go into like the 20s and 30,000 games that get ranked. You know, because some games, there's more on Board Game Geek, but they don't get ranked because they don't have enough people who vote on, you know, what they think about them. Because this is based on what gamers think. So at the gates of Loyang, still crushing it. Uwe Rosenberg, just amazing. All right, moving on. Number 5. Probably the biggest hit on here, like most sold, undoubtedly, I think is Dixit. This one this was the cock of the walk for a while. Everybody was playing Dixit. I believe it's still at Target. I think it's still one of those staple games you see at like Target and Walmart. And they just realized, kept releasing more Dixit stuff. Feelings, by the way, that game is criminally underrated. 7,690. Shame on you. That should be 769. Honestly, I think that should be 79. That's how solid I feel about Feelings. Their artwork choice was just so bizarre, though. They really emphasized the nipples in the original artwork, and we're taking deep dives here. But they were just good. They were going weird artistic. Yeah, like it was. Yeah, like that was it was odd. It was an odd choice. I mean, I didn't mind it because the game was absolutely just astounding. So yeah, so Dixit really kicked it off. Huge blockbuster, number 5, and still massively popular. Dixit. And the number 308 game of all time. How high will we go? Will we get a game in the top 100? Hopefully, let's find out. Dungeon Lords, not to be confused with Dungeon Pets, because I believe Dungeon Lords came out first. Luckily, we can check. Vlada Chvátil of CG&E fame, one of the most prolific game designers of all time. And yeah, so this was, you know, he'd already done Through the Ages, which was obvious. This is one of the top ranked games of all time. Galaxy Trucker, Space Alerts. This was Dungeon Lords. The people were chomping at the bits for this. I bet this was one of the most anticipated games there, and it lived up to the hype, being the number 209 game still of all time, or 293. Excuse me. All right. And you know, just it goes to show you how long CGE has been in the game, and they're still crushing it. You know, Codenames is still huge. You buy that anywhere. Probably find Codenames in freaking gas station at some point. You know, Arnak, one of the most buzzed about games of the last few years. I see people playing Arnak all the time when I'm on my Facebook, my social medias, and whatnot. So CGE, it's awesome to see them just continue to be crushing it. 13 years later, and that was okay. All right, moving on. Number 3, Imperial 2030. Use money to manipulate countries into warring with each other for your own profit. Now, this re-implements Imperial, which was a 2006 release, and this one is the number 243 game of all time. Then they did this one, and this is the number 272 game of all time. So people love this. I would have loved to have been a gamer at this point. I imagine this was a big deal, Imperial 2030 coming out. And I know absolutely nothing about this game. There's so little content. This is a game that I would love to play. Because, and let's see, designer. Let's see where they were, who they were, where were they in their career. Wow. So they got a Concordia. They got a top 20. Beautiful. All right, let's check out rank. 19, 151, 243, 259. And this was 2018. So Imperial, they crushed it with that. Let's look at the year. I'm kind of curious. Let's see. So is Imperial the first one? No, that's... Oh, so they're still making games, too. Transatlantic 2. All right, how do I get to the bottom? Started from the bottom. No, here. Why'd you have to design so many games? All right, here we go. So, Antique. So, first one broke in at 865. Second one, 243. 1071, 1754. Very impressive numbers here. And then this was obviously one people were very excited about. And, yeah. That's how you get it. All right. Number 3 game of Essen, 2009. Number 2, Cyclades. Still popular, still relevant. I still hear people talking about this one. Yeah, Cyclades board game all in, one big box storage solution. This was 2 months ago. A game that has withstood this test of time by Bruno Cathala, one of my favorite game designers of all time. Like Bruno Cathala, like Bruno Fedudi, Ludovic Montblanc, who made Cyclades, Conan, Draftosaurus. All right, we got some Seven Wonders Duel, 5 Tribes, which a lot of people bag on now. I hear mostly negative things about 5 Tribes now. I'm like, what the hell are you people talking about? Cyclades, King Domino, Mission Red Planet, Abyss. We have 6 games in the top 400, and it's just, he has 183. It's just amazing. It's amazing the way his brain works. All right, but yeah, this was just, another step in his ascent, and it's still sitting the number 200 game of all time, Cyclades. And then the number 1 game to come out of Essen 2009 was Hansa Teutonica. So 45 to 90 minute Euro built networks of merchants along the roads and market towns of the Hanseatic League. Ranked still 136 and almost breaking the top 100 in the strategy games, but not quite. And this one was designer Andres Stedding. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And let's check it out. He did 30 things. Bam. All right, let's see. Let's go by year. Let's see. Let's look at the career. Let's look at it. So we started in as a young pup back in 1994. Wow. So 7,638. Kogi. I don't even know what these are. These look like war games. Scottish Highland Whiskey Race. Wait, where's 2000? Wait, were we at 1999? No, we were at 2009. That's how far back we were. Okay, Power and Weakness. Wow, I own this game. I've never played it. I got it at not the dollar store. I got it at a Goodwill. Really, really cheap. So Cog Brolin, just tons of designs. Schwarzwitz, 2008. So then Hansa Teutonica, 136. And this really looks like the one that just busted them out. Well, top 5,000. That's still great. Top 5,000, okay. Heart of Africa. So they've done stuff before. This, I imagine, is probably their magnum opus. Good for them. And Hansa Teutonica. Have they reprinted this one? 11 years ago, we play Hansa. So this is an older game. This is someone playing it. Interesting. That one seems. My bold prediction: you will see a reprint of this within the next 2 years. Mark it. It's March 2022. I'm saying it. But those are the top 10 games from Essen 2009, based on ranking. If you enjoyed this list, please let me know in the comments below. Any feedback, input, list you'd like to see in the future. Because I love this format. I love taking this dive and, just because right as we go, I'm learning about this stuff as well. And it's fun to just get more board game knowledge. But let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye. No, I don't want to stream. I want to stop recording.